Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 17th Joy of Painting series. First of all, let me thank you for inviting me back for another series of painting shows. It's very special to me to be here with you. And if this is your first time with us, allow me to extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your old brushes and your oil paints and spend a relaxing half hour with us as we enjoy some of nature's masterpieces. So, tell you what, on this series we're going to use some unorthodox brushes, great big old rascals, about a dozen colors, and I'm going to show you some of the most fantastic things you've ever seen in the way of painting. So, come on up here and let me tell you what I've got started for today. Today, I thought we'd start this series with an oval, so I've taken a piece of contact paper and just cut a little oval out of it. And then we've covered this part of the canvas with a thin, even coat of liquid white. And the liquid white is on here just to make the canvas wet and slick. What we do here is a wet-on-wet technique. So the first thing that we need to do is to make the canvas wet, and that's all that liquid white is for. So we have it covered. The biggest mistake made is applying too much liquid white, so just put a thin, even coat. And I thought today, it's such a fantastic day, we just do a beautiful little painting that's nice and warm, soft, and I think you'll enjoy it. Let's start with the old big brush here. This is a 2-inch brush. We'll use a little bit of the yellow ochre. I'll be right back. I'll reach up here, get a touch of dark sienna. So we have yellow ochre and dark sienna. Just mix it right on the brush. Shoot, no use working too hard. Okay, let's go up here. Now maybe today we'll have just a beautiful warm little scene with some trees and maybe a little sun. So let's just start up here, just making little crisscross strokes and begin placing in some color. Dark sienna and yellow ochre. That's all we're using at this point. Now then, just like so. I'm going to go right back and get a little touch more of that yellow ochre. I want this center here to be a little bit brighter, a little bit shinier, so we'll just put a little yellow ochre right in here and let it blend outward, outward, outward. Just like so. There we go. And we're going to run in all the colors across the screen so you'll know exactly what we're using. And if you're going to paint along with us, that way you can have your palette all set up and ready to go. Now maybe, without cleaning the brush, I'll add just the least little touch of alizarin crimson. We don't want much, just a very small amount. And just tap it into the bristles. That helps assure a nice even distribution of color all the way through the brush. Then, maybe right up in here, we'll just let a little bit of that shine through. It's a very warm, beautiful painting. There. That's nice already. There we go. And right on around. Now then, maybe, if you've painted with me before, you know I'm an absolute fanatic for water. I love water. I think it's so beautiful. So let's have a little water. I'm going to take a little touch of cadmium yellow, just the least little amount, and mix it. I want this to be a little brighter. And if this is going to be our sun area right here, we'll have a little sun. I'm just going to pull down a little streak of color. This is a very simple little painting, a little yellow ochre. Even if you've never painted before, this one you can do. This one you can do without any problem. Little dark sienna, and we'll just pull that straight down. There we are. Okay. Little dark sienna on this side. So basically we have light in the center and it's getting darker toward the edges. Maybe you want to make this light area a little stronger, so you can take a little titanium white, decide where your lightest area is going to be and pull it straight down. Now very lightly, we're just going to go across this whole thing. That's all there is to it. Okay, now we said we was going to have a little sun in this painting. So, we will do that. Now we'll just use our finger today. Decide where the sun's going to be. Maybe it lives right here, right up here. And all we do is just make a little circle. There. Okay, now we can take our knife and very lightly zip it off. The value still remains in the canvas. So now all you have to do is just very gently blend that a little, and you have an instant sun. And that yellow we put in becomes sort of like a halo around it, and it's very, very attractive. There. That's a super effective, very easy little sky. Now let's take a little bit of the dark sienna. Little dark sienna. I'll be right back. Get a little yellow ochre. Little yellow ochre. Maybe a little bit of that alizarin crimson. Just to warm it up. There we are. Going to get a touch more of the yellow ochre. Ooh, that's nice. Looks good enough to eat there. Now then, I'm just going to pull the brush so I'll load both sides of it. Both sides of it. Let's go right up here. Maybe there's some nice trees. And this is probably the simplest, easiest way I've ever found of making some very nice little trees. Take the brush, touch, and just give a push. See there? Look at there. Now, turn it over, give it a little push, and do the other side. Just let the bristles work. That easy. Maybe he has a friend. You know me, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody needs a friend. Friends are the most valuable things in the world. And even a little tree needs a friend. There. Now, see, sometimes we avoid this big brush. Put one right here because it's so large. But it'll do fantastic things and do them very easy for you. Very easy. And this is a lazy man's way of painting. There, maybe I'll have another one right here. In your world, you decide how many trees live here. And all you have to do is just drop them in. You need these trees out here so the birds have a place to sit. There we go. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Yep, you're right. There's another one. And you decide, once again, painting is as individual as people are. So when you're doing a painting, you look at it and you decide what makes you happy. If it makes you happy, then it's good. Then it's good. Now I'm just going to tap the brush right into those same colors. Just tap it firmly. I'm loading paint right into the corner. Okay, let's go right up here. Same colors. Now then, let's begin putting the indication, just tapping downward, very gently, of little trees and bushes that live all back in here. There. You have to make some big decisions. Where do they live? How many are they? All kinds of things. There's one. And we'll let them come right on over here. We don't know where they go. Shoot. Maybe there's a big one here. You can make big ones and little ones and small ones, fat ones, skinny ones. And these trees are just like people. They're individuals. They each have personalities. So make them that way. I'm going to take a little paint thinner on the liner brush. We want this to be very, very thin. The consistency of ink. And a liner brush has long bristles. So turn the brush. It loads it full. Just turn it. And maybe back in here, just here and there, we'll just put the indication of some little trunks and stuff. Maybe even some of these trees. Just here and there. Don't overdo. Just wherever you want them. Maybe there's an old tree. There. And a few sticks and twigs, all kinds of happy little things. Now then, let's allow that to begin coming forward. Let's mix. We'll take some phthalo blue and some bright red. I'm just going to mix that up with a knife. Like so. This will make sort of a lavender color. A little white in it. Maybe a little more white in it. There. Now you can mix this to the blue side or to the red side, depending on how much of the bright red that you put in or the blue that you put in. It's up to you. Make a decision. All right. It's a beautiful color. Just beautiful. I like lavenders. Okay, let me clean my knife off. And we just wipe the knife on an old paper towel. Now then, I think we'll use a fan brush today. We just load it full of color, just both sides, back and forth, like so. Let's go right up in here. Now you have to make some big decisions. Maybe. And I'm just using the corner of the brush and just wiggling it. Just wiggle. See, that's all there is to it. Just give it a little wiggle. But you have to make decisions where these little things live. Maybe there's a little bush that lives there and another one here. Give them names if it helps. It's all right. You know, people who paint have an artist's license.